use of information and communication technology was introduced at the Rivers State University of Science and Technology, it met stiff opposition. The dissension came from some administrative staff, lecturers and students who were afraid of how to harness the potentials of technology to support their administrative duties and educational activities. While some staff were afraid of losing their jobs if technology was allowed, the students considered e-learning facility as another shade of frustration on their learning schedules. Professor Barineme Fakae understood their fears and did not wave them away. As the sixth substantive Vice Chancellor of the institution and the one who introduced e-learning, he knew it will improve the mode of operation at the institution. Staff efficiency will increase and productivity will stream on a consistent basis. That acceptance and appreciation of the change was therefore a crucial factor if the e-based system of operation is to succeed. The Vice Chancellor embarked on various levels of enlightenment programs geared towards exposing them to the benefits of e-learning. The enlightenment program was a success, and the gradual embrace of the innovations inherent in the e-learning technology by administrative staff, students and lecturers are evident in all sections of the institution. Indeed, Professor Fakae believes e-learning can revolutionize the institution's education programs. With a relatively new history, e-learning across the world has continued to offer irresistible gains to organizations using such facilities. These gains have become the motivation with which to steer the Rivers State University of Science and Technology to its desired e-based destination. The decision is useful in many regards. It has taken the institution out of the doldrums, strengthened its pioneer status as the first University of Science and Technology in Nigeria, and now the first e-varsity in the country. And to make e-learning more effective, enduring and result-oriented, a well-articulated policy was developed to drive the process. Within the policy framework, students and lecturers navigate within the e-learning facility on a regular basis to improve their learning experiences. They enjoy improved access to over 1,000 computers installed at the Information and Communications Technology Center, which is a pool and center of coordination of all activities that are computer-based. Notably, the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) gave the initial support of 140 workstations to the institution. The administration of Professor Fakae stepped up these workstations to strengthen the e-based capacity. As expected, the Rivers State University of Science and Technology's ICT Center has grown to become a place of excellence. All designated e-content meant for students and lecturers, including those who must discharge their administrative functions, can access them at any time, from any place, and from personal computers too. Members of the university community now appreciate the gains of a visible shift away from an analog-driven system to e-technology-driven institution. No bank organization operating on campus can discharge its duties without computer assistance. No physical cash handling is possible as students log on to the e-platform with ATM cards to make payment and perform other transactions. What they had feared is now a pleasurable practice. Administrative duties and academic courses are delivered digitally, oftentimes on a network-based system. Teaching and learning increasingly become more effective. This computer-mediated learning process has tutoring support to enhance the e-based learning activity on a personalized, flexible, and individualized basis. Students are self-organized and able to collaborate among themselves for shared experiences. Regular and prospective students write some of their examinations as e-based testing exercise with computers. Even the community of teachers, facilitators and experts who are coordinators of the several testing programs conducted on the e-facility at the institution's resource center are equal beneficiaries.
My coming to the Rivers State University of Science and Technology came out from an invitation that was made by the Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Chibike Rotimi Amechi. He was told that if he needed to change the university, that there was a young man who was then the head of the Polytechnic in Bori, that he should invite him. And the governor did, but I rejected the the offer. And he had to threaten me and said if I didn't want to take the offer to become the Vice Chancellor of the Rivers State University of Science and Technology, I should resign and leave Rivers State. You understand, that was very difficult. And then he had described that Rivers State as a whole, as far as education was concerned, that it was in a state of emergency. So when somebody has invited you to come to take, such tall orders, you have to be very strong to accept. And so since I wasn't that strong, I said no, but the governor encouraged me and said, go there and do a rescue mission. So now I found that he was a man in a hurry to achieve. And I had said the only way to get that through would be to have an intervention that will come through the aid of the use of computer, the e-technology, that will cut down corruption and will be able to allow me have basic data with which to work. That is why I set on the journey of involving computerization in the things we had to do. It's a type of forward thinking, I must say. You remember a few years ago when we were looking for network in terms of phone, we were told that other countries around us, little countries, that even banana sellers were using, a phone. It looked too distant from us by the time. But the speed of, penetration of mobile telephone in the country, that then, informed that if you want to do a thing, in this place, that it's possible. But the truth is this: it was difficult because people are always very resistant to change, particularly a change that will make them drop some of their bad habits. Because why I say that, if you were having a Beetle car, Volkswagen, and you were given a Camry, it's a big change, but you will gladly accept. But when they now tell you that you are going to be admitted on merit and that you are not going to pay bribe, of course, both the person who is going to pay the bribe and the person who is going to receive it will definitely get worried, because things are no more, made to be crooked, because people gain from that. That is the change people resist. Actually, the change that will have to take something from them, for good. Tremendously. For example, I can tell you the exact number of students I have. Now let's take the students who are given opportunity to come to our university. Admission is done completely online and by merit. It is only the computer that can rank within a fraction of a second and put things in order for you to now decide on the number of students you want to take and where you probably call the cutoff. And so the students who are even coming to our university, those who want hostels, they don't hustle and go around and ask the porter to be bribed to be able to get it. You get the hostel allocation on our own campus, just like you secure a seat on the plane on any airline online. So you are able also to know your 3 other roommates, their full details. Then you know the details of the 4 other students on the left room and the 4 students again on the right room. We've come even beyond the students to go again into the area of keeping our staff data. We know that in our country what people do is that they keep pulling things out of their files. They probably can now declare their ages 2 or 3 times before they actually come to the time of retirement. But for us, the whole of our staff files are digitalized. How would you go and pick up a page of we must also go right to our database to pull out the things in that file. But once mails come in now, once we have actually digitalized fully, the files are just there, actually in some ways redundant, because each time new mails come and should go into the files, they are scanned immediately and sent to the digital database. So with that, the person who even mutilates his file also gets into serious problem, because once we compare what is on the database and is different from the manual file, it means somebody has played some tricks.
Space, time, and money including several technical supports to ensure effective adoption of e-learning and its technology to achieve intended goals. Also migrated to the online facility are all academic results of students from analog to digital mode. It is much easier to prepare and issue degree certificates and transcripts to graduating students at the venue of convocation ceremonies. This practice was difficult to achieve prior to the introduction of computer-assisted administrative and academic duties at the institution, where students waited for about 5 years to get their certificates. Within the e-based policy, professional capacity of lecturers, content managers, and students' computer literacy ability are developed. There is also a regular update of the digital content and curriculum resources meant for students. There is always a consensus on technical standardization of the facility content among lecturers, and students can conveniently use the facility, much like the lecturers, for peer review as stipulated by the e-learning resources. The system keeps running with privately generated electricity. 2 generating sets of 2000 kVA each are fueled with 2 drums of diesel each per hour to secure regular electricity supply. While this eats deeply into the financial resources of the institution, it is providing the energy power base for reliable internet connectivity. In fact, e-technology has become a way of life at the institution. Lecturers, other administrative staff and students are enjoying varied level of control of how to manage their time to accomplish individual tasks.
The finance was the thing I knew God was going to supply us through, both the government and some agencies that are interested in our development. But let me say, the big cost was that came from people who even had to mobilize students, to stand against the change. 2009, students demonstrated 3 times in 1 week. And what was it? That they did not want computerization. We have a pact with Microsoft. We are one of those who have the IT Academy, that is certified by Microsoft. We also have another one certified by Cisco. And we said any student that will graduate from our university must be computer literate, and in which case they have to register compulsorily in our ITA, which then will mean that by the time they graduate, although we don't attach credit to it, that they should be able to waive, to anybody a certificate of competency in computer, in which case it should allow the student have, an enhanced, opportunity in terms of employment, because the person would have been shown to be satisfied and is computer literate, then add that to our certificate. But you won't believe what happened. They went and told the students that was the thing, that the 6,000 naira they were going to pay was going to go right into the Vice Chancellor's pocket. They forget that in NIT, that to be able to have the same certification, they pay over 100,000. But we had negotiated because of the volume of students to be able to come to the level. But now they demonstrated, and we were forced to reverse the order of Senate and said, well, if you like, get trained. But thank God now it is now compulsory, because Senate has revisited the whole issue, and our students are back now getting certified before they graduate.
In any system, if you introduce a change, it's normally resisted. And but change is a permanent thing that must come. Initially, when it was introduced in 2007, 2008, it was highly resisted by staff, by students. Most stakeholders of this university resisted the introduction of ICT in this university. But today, with time, they have come to realize that it's something that they cannot do without.
Signforce is the technical partner that manages the e-learning facilities. It has set up the e-campus program with several modules that cater for students' fees payment, course registration, accommodation allocation, administration of examination and results computation. There is a learning and teaching process module that provides virtual learning experience to students. The dexterity of management of the e-campus modules has made Rivers State University of Science and Technology the Pioneer Electronic Testing Center in Nigeria. This is a feat clinched since 2008. It is worthy to note that the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, is the largest patron of the e-facility and continues to use the institution as center for its computer-based examinations.
We have experienced quite a number of scenarios, basically, in implementing this. But before we get down to the e-learning is basically an offshoot, okay, of what we term as e-campus. E-campus is the big solution that manages everything about the campus. The management information system of the campus, which handles payments, result computation, and all of that. Now, in a bid to strengthen, the result output, the management of the university is now saying there has to be a way in which continuous assessments and e-learning proper will actually be made available on the platform. So based on that, we are actually considering having what we call REL, which is the UST a research and e-learning platform. The platform essentially is to enable lecturers upload content, their books, their materials, videos, audios, and all of that on the platform. Not just that alone, students are able to also have access to it. And then beyond that, we can also progress, to the level where assignments also are there. So the platform we're talking about manages things like assessment, continuous assessment, and also putting the study materials that the students will require. Now, in the course of it, one of the major things that is required is that lecturers need to produce their materials, okay? Whatever, initially it used to be books, now it has to be, in soft copy, whether in the form of a PDF, in the form of an application, in the form of a video, in the form of audio. So that's the process that we are actually going. The school had said all assessment from this current academic session will be, online. So every test, every homework, will go online. So that is a very welcome development to ensure that students have, the assessment cataloged and saved, and it can easily be retrieved, in a future date whenever it is required, just the way they do all other things, including their school fee payments, receipts, and all of that. They can easily retrieve these things. Their results, they can easily retrieve. So we feel even assessments also should be easily, retrieved as well. So having this background established, all that we have tried to do so far, our experience has been good. Students see it as a welcome development. Lecturers also, being sensitized, along this line, also see it as a welcome development. So we think it's going to be a great experience going forward.
Scienforce continues to work with course lecturers to develop content that are managed on the e-based system. Only standardized courses are delivered to students. The content comprises all instructional materials ranging from the complex, discrete items to larger instructional modules.
Challenges, is still ongoing. So one of them has to do with the level of computer appreciation. Okay, some of our lecturers are old and are trying to unlearn and relearn at this particular point in time, and so we know that it's going to be a challenge. So that's why in the initial stage, what we've asked is that just upload your books, the soft copies of your books. We'll get down to the stage. For the younger lecturers that are in their midst, we are going to go all the length, take them into video production so that their lectures will be in video. The beauty of that is that after that video has been done, a student can go through that video over and over again. Okay, so it's like having your classroom session, repeated over and over again as many times as you would want. So we'll take the younger lecturers through videos, through animations, and through audio classes, while the older ones, fine, let them just upload their books. So that's the level of computer appreciation, the gap we have there is a challenge, as it were. Then devices. The students are also trying to see, they don't all have devices, but the university has also come in to say, okay, you can pay for devices. Pay as low as 5,500 naira, and then you'll be given what? A computer. And then the balance you will pay over 12 months in an academic session. They are also coming up now with a tablet. The tablet is just going for 60,000 naira. Okay, you pay as low as possible, and then you're able to get that tablet as well. So whether you want it as a laptop, you want it as a tablet, you can easily get it. And we've gone further to also create a mobile application for the university based on the challenges, because we know that nearly every student has a mobile phone, an Android mobile phone. From our analysis, we see that close to 80% of the students in UST have Android smartphones, 80%. So with that, we have also created a mobile app to overcome the challenge. So whichever device, size of device you have, whether it's a phone, it is you can get a smartphone for as low as 5,000 naira or 6,000 naira. Maximum is 10,000 naira, and then that phone is enabled with now a mobile app, a UST mobile app, which I have here, a UST mobile app. And with the mobile app, what happens is that you can have access to most of the contents that we are talking about. So the mobile app comes up, and then you are able to access a number of things. So you can see this. This is a typical example of the mobile app here. So if you come here, you want to know things, so you could have things like the history of the school is out here. You want to see the history, you want to see the anthem of the school, you want to see the message from the Vice Chancellor. So all these things are text, and people can actually go through them. So that's the way the students with their mobile phone, okay? It doesn't need to be this sophisticated. Any mobile phone that is smart, 5,000 naira, can give you what it takes to access most of the things that you're doing.
It has been very successful, because it has made administration easier than it used to be in the manual days. And every student can tell you that the results are readily accessible. We pay school fees online. Most student-related activities are done online. In terms of staff, Senate is we don't carry papers to our Senate meetings, and that has made things very easy, because Senate members just come to meetings with their laptops and other devices, because the meetings and other related matters must have been circulated to them before the meeting, and the burden of carrying large volumes of papers, those periods are all over. So administration relatively in this university is made easier.
There are changes in students' knowledge, skills and attitude. Those who were not computer literate are acquiring the skill through the years of study. At graduation, they get an additional Microsoft certification to their degree certificate.
Well, for me, e-learning system has been a big help. Come to talk of paying school fees. We don't need to go to the bank and queue on the line. We have people whom you can just go, you give your money, they pay for you online, and then you just go home. The best part about it is that your receipts are always online, so you don't have to go to anybody's office to start asking for a receipt or anything. Also, when you talk about registration for freshers and for final year students, they don't have to go from office to office, looking for things. They just have to pay online, do everything they have to do online, then they print out their forms online. It's been very great. Also, talking about hostel accommodation. All we need to do is just go online, book for hostel, then you get your bed number, you get your room number, everything online. It's been very efficient. It's made it a lot easier for students in university.
Wow, it makes me feel relieved. In fact, we are so relieved. I feel so relieved about it, because instead of running around from place to place, we can easily access our data, access our page. Even some of the exams, it doesn't have to be manual. You have to just go to the ICT, write it there and see our score there. And come on, it reduces the stress of teachers trying to impose, lecturers trying to make students pay for exam, kind of sorting. But since we write it there and see our result, I don't think you would have any reason to go and sort any course. So
I must tell you that this is the best I've ever had in my life, entire life experience. E-learning facility RSUST, I should say, is the best in Nigeria, and again is also the best I should say it's also the best in Africa. Here, a lot of stress have been reduced from all the students. Like we do most of our assignments online. Most of our exams, we write it online. And again, the level of examination malpractice have entirely drastically reduced.
Wow, the VC, Professor Barineme Fakae, is the best we have ever seen. We just wish he could stay forever. He's a gift to us.
Computer-assisted learning experience among students shows that their learning is deeply personal because they have to learn. As active participants within a well-designed e-learning framework, students feel more motivated to engage with learning content, striving to make the best academic performance.
Registration of students is done online. We no longer struggle with matriculation numbers, allocating matriculation numbers to students manually. We do it electronically. No longer the manual exercise whereby some students are given double, two students may have double the same numbers. So we have succeeded in doing that. Our examination, the JS courses are also done online. The story of missing scripts, students not getting their results, delayed results, we've I think surmounted all that. Students get their results, immediately you finish the exam, you get your results.
When students take their laptops home, they can freely study in the sitting room with family rather than in a more isolated room. This can give parents greater visibility of schoolwork and opens new avenues for discussion that can help students' performance.
Okay, for me, I think it's a welcome development. My kids can now read online, do their assignments, and above all, do their registrations online. So for me, it's like something very easy that has come to stay.
To stop going towards the direction that everybody will be going, you will be doing yourself, a great harm. You remember there was a time when we did not even know that ATM card was going to be a common thing around. I remember that when we started, we normally print, scratch cards for students to buy 3, 4, 5 scratch cards. But now with just one single bank card, you're able to do all transactions you need to do. Now that is where we are going to, because again, you talk about payment, everybody is talking about e-payment. If anybody is resisting it, you should just know that that is the form with which currency will flow in the world. So it is better to know the direction the world is going, and you go first. In that case, you actually get the headroom, as you move. So for my colleagues, there is no need, waiting around and not thinking about how to get involved in the whole movement. The truth is this: the world is not going to stop and wait for those who are not moving. So it is better. I describe what we're doing as somebody who is in the wild. I'm told that in the forest, or let's say in the wild, let's say the grassland, the lion needs to run very fast to be able to have food. Then the prey, whether it is the antelope, also needs to run very fast to escape from the predator. So both the predator and the prey must learn how to run. So we are in the race and we'll continue. So those who stop, either they get hungry and die, or they get eaten by the predator.
The present administration of Professor Fakae has successfully steered the institution on the path of the dreams of the founding fathers, who desired a science and technology institution that grooms men and women that will contribute meaningfully towards an enduring development of the country. The use of computer in real time and connected to internet platform for all undergraduate studies and graduate research activities is sure evidence that all graduates of the institution are poised to contribute knowledge to the many oil explorative activities of the Niger Delta and across the country.